All right, so I want to share this story with you. I'm a heterosexual male. I'm 56 years old, and what is written in this story I'm about to read out to you, and I'm going to comment on it, is something that I've known from the time I became a sexually active male. But I think a lot of females lack an understanding of basic psychology as it relates to men. They do not understand what moves men to do the stuff they do. They do not understand the reasoning behind the action they see men make towards them as women. So when I read out this story, I'm going to kind of offer you an insight into why this woman experienced what she experienced. So what's the story? According to this page, Senior Picking, she says, after divorcing her husband, the woman was shocked to discover that all the single men who once made advances on her while she was still married had suddenly vanished. It continues, a lady has taken to the internet to lament her painful experience after quitting her marriage due to some unresolved issues. She had hoped to find a better partner outside, believing her prospects would improve once she became single. Unfortunately, she was deeply disappointed by the reality she faced. According to her, when she was still in her husband's house, several single men constantly flirted with her and asked her out, even though they knew fully well that she wasn't married. And let me continue. Some would compliment her beauty, send her private messages, and try to get close to her at every opportunity. However, the moment she finally left the marriage and became officially single, none of those men approached her again. Instead, they began avoiding her like the plague. She expressed shock and disappointment, wondering why the same men who pursued her aggressively while she was unavailable suddenly lost interest now that she was free. The story has sparked a heated debate online, with many women showing similar experiences of being pursued only while married, only to be ignored once they became single. That's the story. That's the end of the write up I'm reading. Now, I want to say to you, if you're a woman, whether you're a girl, a teenage girl, or an adult woman, if you want to understand what drove these men and why they behave the way they do, let me explain it to you. First thing, men are biologically programmed. It's the design that they have been given by the creator. They are programmed to spread their seeds. So there's constant production of sperm, right? You hear there's an expression men use. Please pay attention. Try and study men so you can have a better relationship with men. Men talk about post nut clarity. The nuts are the balls, the scrotums, right? These balls in the scrotum, right? Post nut clarity. When the man has the sperm constantly produced, it gets to a point, it gets full. He needs to he needs to expel the accumulated sperm. All right, it gets full. So at that point, the craving for sex increases because that's the outlet. All right, it's through sex that he ejaculates and it releases, and then he experiences less of the need for sexual intercourse. So when a man has stayed a while without sex and he accumulates sperm, what happens then is he feels a greater urge to have sex. Now, men in Nigeria, local parlance in Nigeria, they call it konji. Now, the man is looking for an outlet to release. During that phase, that his state of mind gets a bit messed up, that every female he knows has a vagina becomes attractive to him. Not in the manner that will lead him to choose a marital partner he will stay with for life. No, more as a sexual partner that is literally faceless to him. This is the thing that women don't understand about men. Women are very, very choosy when deciding who they are going to go to bed with. Men are not as choosy because what drives us quite often is the need to expel the accumulated content of the balls. This is the reality that men face. That's why you see that some guys will tell you before they slept with the girl, they felt a different way, but they're looking at her, oh, they were interested in her, they wanted to get into bed with her. Just right after ejaculation, sex completed, they look at the same girl and are asking themselves, I think I must have been drunk. How did I manage to get myself into bed with this one? And they don't want to see that girl ever again. Many women can attest to the fact that this is true. A guy that was pursuing you at the party, at the club that night, the next day, you guys wake up side by side. He looks at you with disgust, gets up and leaves. And you're thinking to yourself, but he was so into me last night. It was congee mixed with alcohol. It increases. Then maybe some of them take the aphrodisiac. They just want outlet. They just want to release. It has nothing to do with their emotions. Men are like that. There's a very big disconnect between the biological urge they feel for sex and their desire to settle down with a partner for life in marriage. Big difference. It's not the same for women. Quite often, women's emotions are tied closely to their decision making when it comes to choosing a life mate. So before you can get between a woman's legs, you have to win her over emotionally. It's not the same for men. Men are very surface level when it comes to sex. It's not tied to their emotions at all. That's why a man can love a woman, be in a relationship with her, married to her for years on end, for decades on end, and then cheat with one girl overnight in his office, but still tell the girl, I can never marry you, and go back to his wife. He loves his wife, he doesn't love the girlfriend. It was just an opportunity for sex and he wanted release. That's it. If women understand this about men, then they will understand why these men behave like this towards this lady. And they do this to married women a lot. Men are very clever, especially men that are hunting for free sex. Because quite often men are looking for opportunities for release. Because it's a reality they have to deal with every day of their lives. It's just, it happens, it's biological. It's just one of the natural experiences we are born with. So the men are looking at opportunities for release, and they see a woman who is clearly married but is open to being flirted with. They see that, and that's an opportunity to them. Oh, every time I need release, let me call this one. She's always willing. They like the fact also that you are married, because that means there's somebody already taking care of you. So there's less. You guys don't understand, you women. The guy does not want to spend on you because he doesn't love you. He's not interested in you for long-term relationship, but he needs you as a means of release. So every now it's called a booty call. I think the Americans call it a booty call. So it's a booty call. He calls on you and he say, man, are you available? Please, you know that if she just flirts with you a little bit, you're going to be ready to spread your legs. And that's why he keeps contact with you while you are married. Because while you are married, you are not going to insist on staying with him. You're not going to ask him to do so much for you, because you already have somebody you already have somebody who's doing all those things for you. There's a house you are living in, clothes are being bought for you, you are being fed. I mean, if you have kids, you don't have to. So he doesn't have to provide for you the way he would have to provide for a single woman that's dating him. So you are a lower expense outlet compared to a single lady that is fully dependent on him. So the men chase the married women that are open to being to flirting, because they know it's less expensive, less risky. Most married women would want to keep it on the low. They would not want to expose the fact that they are dating you or sleeping with you. So the guy is safe. In fact, quite often the men that do this nonsense tend to also be married. But there are some single guys that go around marrying, sleeping with other people's wives, yes. But quite often what I found is that they love married guys who are randy, looking for variety in sexual expenses, and they go around and target people's wives and leave their own wives at home. So they know that the other woman too will not want to make a scene and let people know that there's. So they feel safe in doing that with married women. But the married woman is busy thinking beyond. I mean, before a woman decides to begin to sleep around as a married woman, you've won her over emotionally. That's the difference. So she's taking it more seriously than the man is. But the women don't know that. They think the man is just as interested in them. He's not. It's the free sex that's primarily the main thing. Even the conversations you have, he 9 times out of 10 is tolerating you. He probably gets bored listening to you. The interest is in the sex. This is the thing that drives men. If women would only pay attention to when men are telling them how men think, they will fall less into traps like this. But unfortunately, women don't like to take advice from men. They take advice from fellow women who are equally stupid. Quite often, 99% of them, I'll say, when they are emotional, they are stupid. Even the most intelligent of women, when she's emotional, takes stupid decisions. And that's the difference. Men hardly get emotional. Their biology does not allow it as much as it does for women. And that's the reason why all this nonsense is happening. So I hope you understand this, and then you let it guide your actions accordingly. Women, Keep your legs closed. If you are married, you are married. Leave these men alone and don't let them come and play with you. You'll regret it. So, in a nutshell, what I'm trying to tell you is that the reason why that woman experienced what she did after she separated from her husband in the hopes of getting hooked up to a better man was that the men she'd been dealing with had been lying to her all the while to get into her pants. You see, men will lie to get what they want from the woman, which is sex. That's what they do. And so they will tell you what they know you want to hear. Quite often, a woman will try to vent to a so-called male friend or colleague, and the guy will, if he's a predator in that sense, in terms of the fact that he's looking for free sex, he will see an opportunity. So he will, if you, as a woman, you are constantly bitching about your husband to a co-worker who is a male person, or a friend, or I don't know, somebody outside the home, and you continue to complain about the negative attributes of your partner, of your man, to him, what will happen is, if he's an opportunist, he will feed into that for you, tell you what you want to hear, support you, then create a fake image in your mind of himself as somebody that's better, offers better prospects, and begin to speak along the lines of what will make you give in to him if he demands sex. For instance, what he knows you want to hear when you've spoken to him, he knows you want to hear him say things like, "Oh, you don't deserve to be treated like that. I would definitely not treat my own woman like that." And even though she knows you are married, sorry, he knows that you know he's married, he will be saying things like, my own wife is even also giving me stress. I'm thinking of also leaving her, because he knows when you hear that, and she knows that, you know he knows that when you hear that and you know that he's agreeing with you, you are likely to be more willing to do whatever he asks, including have sex. You see, so he will tell you the stuff that he knows you want to hear, that will make you willing to go along with him on a journey of infidelity on your part, or on both your parts. All right, that's the thing that many women don't get. Now, the man may have absolutely no intention of leaving his wife, but he will lead you on, because he wants sex from you, and he wants free sex with very little overheads, and that's what eventually happens. He has his way with you. You are thinking there's a serious thing going on between you, and he is thinking, "I'm on this now, just free ride. I don't get time," and you don't know that until you now take the step and you jump and leave your marriage. Then you suddenly find that the guy say, who wants a liability? Who wants extra load? Because now you become his responsibility. He doesn't want that. What he liked was the free sex. Okay.